Star Wars Squadrons was announced yesterday. We know that there will be both single and multiplayer components to the game, and today I want to talk about my hopes for the single-player campaign. In general, the story tends to be what I most look forward to in any video game. I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer, although Squadrons looks like it'll be more up my alley in that regard, but I'll talk about that another time. My absolute favorite games are story-driven, the Uncharted series, The Last of Us, and of course recently you probably know how obsessed I've been with Fallen Order. To be clear, I am not expecting Squadrons to have a campaign of that level. I think we're probably leaning more in the direction of Battlefront 2 and the Call of Duty games, which have single-player experiences, but the longevity of the game is centered more around the multiplayer. However, the single-player part of Battlefront 2 was short, so my biggest hope for Squadrons is that we get more balance between single and multiplayer. Double the length and that'll be fine for me. A Call of Duty campaign seems like it takes about 6 to 8 hours to complete, so that would be more than acceptable in my eyes. As for the story content, I am already intrigued. I think the idea of bouncing back and forth between a New Republic and Imperial pilot is great. The trailer alone talked about the different ideologies of each faction and why they fly. Right now, I'm hoping the Imperial pilot stays Imperial the whole time. We got to see Iden Versio experience Operation Cinder and then defect, deciding enough is enough. I'd be curious to see a new perspective this time around, exploring why flying for vengeance is ultimately hollow and leads to ruin. A secondary hope I always have for Star Wars story content is fun connections within the greater Star Wars sandbox, as long as there is a good balance between old and new stuff, and as long as everything makes sense. The trailer already teased some of that, giving us glimpses of Wedge and Harrison Dula. Vanguard Squadron is the main focus of the New Republic side of the story, and it's been mentioned already in Alphabet Squadron. I've had the pleasure of meeting writer Mitch Dyer, and he is a huge Star Wars nerd. I have every reason to believe he, Walt Williams, and Joanna Berry will give us what we expect from a Star Wars story, both in the fun stuff and the important themes and lessons. And that's my last hope for Squadrons, that the story means something. Again, I fully trust the writers here, but this is something that has become more and more important to me as I've worked on this channel. I love trivia and Easter eggs and ships and lightsabers and cool battles and explosions, but looking at the reason Star Wars as a franchise speaks to so many people and has thrived for over 4 decades has been a new source of fun for me the past few years. Star Wars is about war and space battles, but it's also about hope, knowing when to fight and how to win the right way. I look forward to seeing what Squadrons has to say about why we fly. That's what I hope to see in the single-player campaign of Star Wars Squadrons. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the multiplayer side of things. Let me know what you want to see in the story mode in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.